Welcome to Wednesday on All Things Futhark. This is your host, Rafa Nordry, and this week's question came from our very own Eric Lurch, and I've bundled it under the nice, nifty title of Divination, How Does It Work? Eric's question was great, but I broke it into two questions. The first, when you use the runes for divination, what are some of the ways the information comes to you, and how do you determine what it means? For example, is it visual, auditory, emotional, or logical? Now for me, it's a mixture of all of those in some parts, but primarily the process is visual as I look over the casted runes, and it's a logical one as I explore the relationships between the given runes and their logical flow within the context of the reading. For this lovely screencast, we're going to look at this as our sample reading. So, everything you need is right before you when you have them casted out. You simply need to understand it and communicate it effectively. And there are three things you need to use to do that. First is you need to come up with the condition of the rune. Figure out if it's upright or if it's reversed. You need to apply runic understanding to see what the runes are saying based on all their aspects, and then you need to take omens to confirm that your findings are correct. One of the key things, one of the most primary things to decide on before you start your reading is how you will determine the condition of the rune. Is it upright and positive, or is it reversed and negative? Now here is the Elder Futhark. We may not see at first glance is that about 40% of the row is the same upright or reversed, and that's nearly half the row. So that begs the question, how then do we know if a rune is reversed? What I do is I make a chart. I take a circle, I break that into 4 sections, and I break that into 4 sections to give me an 8-segmented section of a wheel. And then I apply the Futhark. I apply the first, the second, and then the third 8 in this order. Now we're going to look at this top row here. That is the home row for the rune Feyu. Now the triads on the left and the right are aspected positively to Feyu, and their opposites are also aspected positively to Feyu. Now this nasty bunch on the bottom here is opposite of Feyu, and the ones on the 90-degree angle to Feyu would be considered blockages. So I guess you're going to want an example. Okay, let's go back to our sample reading, and we're going to look at this. Let me just quickly point out that Gabo and Nauthiz here are both the same, upright and reversed. But let's go through and figure it out, how they are aspected. Now here, Gabo is positively aspected with Perthro. As you can see here on the chart, they're side by side. Now Gabo here is also positive to Nauthiz. As you can see, it's on the opposite side of one of the triads that are positively aspected. Now Nauthiz is opposed to Perthro. Going back to the chart, it's the exact opposite on that chart from Perthro. So that we know is Perthro and and Gabo are positive, and Nauthiz is positive, but it's opposite of Perthro. So the secondary question he had is, how do you change the archetypal idea of a rune and the information into a reading? And unless I misunderstood that question's intent, I would say you do not change the meaning of a rune, as much as you would apply its key information based on the reading as it is given. If you have any questions, post them below. I love getting comments. We'll see you next week.